Now, please join me in welcoming one of the founders of Wong Fu Productions, filmmaker Philip Wang.
How's it going,
Hi,
Lee?
well, how are you?
Good, good. I'm doing good, and this has been an amazing event. I've been watching
Oh shoot, I lost
the
you.
past like 45 minutes, and I feel extremely unqualified to be. Oh, am I here? Am I good?
I think you're back.
All right. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. No, but it's an honor to be wedged between some amazing, talented individuals.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just for people who are viewing at home, there's this app, the program we're using allows this little there's like a backstage area where people wait before they come on, and I can kind of see chats going, and they've been very fun, and it's really great to bring all these people together and see all of you interact. So I'm so glad you're here. Let me just jump right into it. A message that we at Act to Change try to impress upon all kids, but certainly AAPI kids who might feel isolated, is that they are not alone. And I know that at Wong Fu Productions, you guys focus on storytelling, and I think in your own words, you say whether it's funny, sad, or thoughtful. And I'm curious how storytelling can help young kids feel a sense of community and celebrate their identities and not feel so alone.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I actually, when I was looking at the lineup, I noticed that I think I'm like the only YouTuber. So I feel like a little bit of pressure to represent, like our side of the industry. Obviously,
Yeah.
television.
We had Jeannie Mai on.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
She's famous. She's on TV. No, but yeah, and she's awesome. I think what I'm trying to say is, like there's representation and storytelling is so important on just all different fronts. And I think what we're so lucky that we are in this time period with like technology, and for better for worse, social media definitely does help us engage with others, and also share our stories more than we could have ever hoped for ever before. And so I think that for us at Wong Fu and through YouTube, and we've been able to like kind of just put our stories out there, our perspectives, our actors, our faces, without any red tape, just like, on our own terms, unapologetically, without having to wait for a studio to say we can or can't, or hey, the ratings aren't doing good, so sorry, your show's done. And I think that's really powerful, and I think that's the reason why, and like, very, almost a whole generation is growing up watching YouTube and being affected by channels like Wong Fu or many other channels or social media influencers, because it is that very easily accessible content that allows that kid that is growing up as the only Asian in their school to say, hey, no, I might be isolated here, but I can feel connected to so many of the people online. And here's examples all over the place, not just on TV, but also on my computer, on my phone. And that's empowering. I think I've been listening to a lot of people telling their story today and how they felt very isolated growing up. And I think when you're being bullied and being discriminated against, it is very natural to feel alone. And I'm just glad that we are at a place in time where we can have role models that are out there for a lot of young people to find. And I feel like a little different from the other people you've been interviewing. Like, I actually grew up very fortunate in the sense that I never felt lesser for being Asian. I think I'm in the minority in that sense. Like, even though I grew up in a school that was, maybe like 80% white, in a town that was mostly white, I felt very proud of my Asianness. And I think that comes from having good role models and having Asian people that I looked up to, that I thought were cool, and that I was like, man, I want to be like them. And I sought that out. And I think that that's why storytelling and putting our voices, putting our faces out there is so important, because then we can be those role models for those other kids that are growing up now.
I love that you said that, because I think that's such a big thing, that we need to have people that we can look up to and say, I feel okay in the world. Like, I feel that's someone that I feel akin to, and that makes me feel not so different all the time, So that's such an amazing thing. YouTube, by the way, I mean, certainly during this time in our lives, I think everyone's online so much. We're so hungry for content. So yes, I think you're right that YouTube's a super powerful space, and a really big space to reach young people. So it's amazing the work you're doing. I want to just touch on, I know you guys talk about whether it's funny or sad or thoughtful, but I do think, I mean, the videos that I tend to remember are really funny. And I want to ask you about using comedy as a way to connect people.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I mean, we've seen examples of that, you know, through decades and decades, you know, or I mean, even beyond that, like, you know, centuries of just like through books and literature. But, you know, I think one way that when there's adversity or when there are topics of contention, a lot of times, yeah, people, if you come at them with just like a statement and you're just like, hey, you're wrong, or and that's the problem with Twitter, to be honest. Twitter, I think is great for many things, but I think it's very bad for also a lot of things. But like, yeah, everyone wants to have their like mic drop moment in like, you know, 280 characters or whatever, and a lot of these things are about discussions, or it's about you know, pointing out and you know, gradually easing your way into someone's you know, a mind and shifting their perspective. And a lot of times when you just come out with, you know, being forceful or being aggressive, it does automatically put people's walls up. And I'm guilty of that too. Like, I think especially on Twitter, it's very, very easy for you to see something and you just want to be like, what the hell is this? But I think comedy definitely has a way to let people's guards down a little bit. It when you can kind of like you know, find the satire in a topic and flip something on its head, it does, I think, you know, people respond to it differently, and I think that's one approach that we sometimes take.
Yeah, and I, you know, I know I'm hearing from so many people that we're living in such an emotionally fraught time, and there's so much uncertainty and so much negativity. And I think a lot of us are turning to comedy, like we want that. And so, what a great way to also spread positivity and identity and community and all of that through comedy. So I just want to say thank you for being the role model to so many people that so many of us didn't have, and thank you for all of your work, and thank you for supporting this day against bullying and hate and stopping by and chatting with us.
Of course, I think this is really wonderful, and I wish you guys the best of luck. And yeah, we got a lot of work to do in the future, and but as you can see from everyone that's coming through, we are more unified than ever before, you know, like than past generations, and I think we're all very fortunate for that. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.